The next asset on my watch list for this week actually is the USDJPY, and interestingly, I have been buying this asset since the breakout of the 148.500 which happened at the beginning of the week. And in fact, I have a minimum of 3 positions running at this point, as I added one more here and one more at the 149.150. Now let's run through the higher time frame quickly. Let me share with you what I saw in the higher time frame and what led to the decisions that I am making on this asset. Now, before I go into the technical details of what the structure is looking like, I want to share with you some fundamental factors that have been affecting this market in the last couple of months. Now, if we scale up into the daily time frame here, hold on a second, please. I want to show you something. Okay, so on the daily time frame, it is quite clear that price action has been on a strong bullish momentum since the beginning of this year. However, as soon as price, let me zoom right in, as soon as price got into that area above or within the 145.00 area and the 147.500, we saw this whole scenario of a choppy scenario. Choppy situation. This is no ordinary zone. Let me tell you, it's a territory where the Bank of Japan made a significant intervention last year, and the looming fear of another intervention has cast a shadow of indecision over the past month, and this uncertainty has reflected on the chart and manifested as a consolidation phase amidst a resilient US economy. Now, here is where the thing gets intriguing. Recent development emanating from the Bank of Japan have tilted the scales in favor of the US dollar, where the Bank of Japan governor has said that the ultra monetary policy will not be abandoned at the moment, and that if there's going to be any abandon at this point in time, it's going to be subject to economic data. And from the look of things, the economic data coming out from the Japanese economy hasn't been quite interesting or hasn't been quite inspiring at this point in time. And in fact, from a technical standpoint, it is quite clear that though we have a consolidation phase, within this whole consolidation phase, price had consistently found higher lows in this market, which further emphasized the strength of the buyers within this whole area. Now, as a result of this, I had a key level for this week situated at the 148.500. In fact, remember, we have been buying the USDJPY since last week's trading session, and the 148.500 for me was an area I want to be looking out for more opportunity. That is, if price breaks out of that structure, definitely I want to be getting ready to buy. Now, if we scale down into the 1 hour time frame, we saw how market participant reacted to that zone. So let me zoom right to the 1 hour time frame for you to see what I saw here at the beginning of the week. Now, at the beginning of this current week we are in right now, you will see, hold on a second, let me just grab this for you. So at the beginning of this week, it was quite a simple setup that we had here, as we saw price confined within the 148.500, that is our key level for this week, and then the 148.260. And of course, you know how we do it here. When price falls into this kind of flat range, we have no other choice than to exercise patience, waiting for either the breakdown of that range to give us an opportunity to sell, or the breakout of the range to give us an opportunity to buy. And obviously, as you can see here, price broke out of the 148.500 to trigger my first buy position for the week. And it appears that things are getting stronger by the day as price continues to find higher highs and higher lows along the line. Now, this morning I had a beautiful resistance line at the 149.150, which was initially this morning the highest point price action has gotten to so far this week, and I was waiting for the breakout retest of this level to add more buy positions to my existing trade. Now, if you see what has been going on in the last hour, we finally saw the breakout of that 149.150, and in fact I had a buy stop order above that structure to capitalize on that opportunity. Now for those who had missed out on this opportunity, you would have no other choice than to exercise patience, where you want to be seeing price come back to retest the structure where the appearance of buy pressure again on the lower time frame. It could be your 10, 5 or 15 minutes time frame, after which you want to be joining that uptrend continuation here. So let's see if the market will come back and retest that zone, and if it does, we want to be capitalizing on that move. Now for us to guide and make things a little bit much more easier, we have an ascending trend line which I spotted here. So this is the red dotted line you can see on your screen right now, but I would like to there's a deviation to that ascending trend line, ascending trend, as you will see here. So if I bring out my line chart at this juncture, you will see that we have something like this. Hold on a second. You will see that we have something like this. Okay, so we have something like this. So there is a deviation to that trend that we have here. So it's likely we have a couple of ascending trend lines here so that we can capture what things are looking like right now. So I'll make this one the major one, thicken it a little bit, and then bring back our candle chart. Now look at what we have here. So since the beginning of this week, you will see price has been finding higher lows, as you will see right here. Higher low, we have a higher low here, higher low here, and then we have another one that happened here during the early hours of this morning, and then we also have another one which happened about 3 to 4 hours ago, leading into the situation that broke out of the 149.150. Now there are still chances that price could drop into the trend line. So if sudden momentum comes in, there is no point panicking, as we have a bust stop around this ascending trend line where the appearance of buy pressure again could incite an uptrend scenario. So that is why you do want to be having a wider range of stop loss for those who are taking advantage of the breakout retest of the 149.150, having your stop loss right below the ascending trend line, maybe around the 148.950, which will be dovetailing to about, how many pips is that? Let me see. About 20 pips thereabout, which is not bad for this current position. So as long as price remains above this ascending trend line that we just spotted here right now, we continue to hold on to our bullish bias, feel comfortable, and look out for more buying opportunities here. However, the only condition that will make me want to consider selling the USDJPY, which I doubt will happen today, is for price to slice through that ascending trend line, break it to the downside, and in fact break down the 148.930. And if this happens, we might likely be seeing a retracement of this impulsive move we saw at the beginning of the week. As you know, we saw price break out of our week's key level at the 148.500, and from a technical standpoint, whenever a breakout of a structure happens, there are chances that price could come back, retest the structure that was broken to incite another wave of bullish momentum. Now, if price ever breaks down both the ascending trend line and the 148.930 here, we are not jumping in right away, as we will need some confirmations to happen before we jump into that sell position. Remember, the breakdown of this trend line could still turn out to be a false breakdown, considering the strong bullish momentum we have in this market. So I would like to see some confirmations that sellers are getting stronger and that buyers are finding it difficult to climb back above this ascending trend line, which would reflect on this chart as continued selling pressure below the structure. Then we can join that decline to the downside. So this is how we are going to be managing our USDJPY for today. And in fact, our center of focus is simply between the 149.150 and the 148.930, where depending on where the breakout happens is likely going to be inciting the momentum in that particular direction. So this is my view here on the USDJPY for today. Very simple setup we have here. Mark out these levels on your charts, as you will be needing them as a reference point to guide your independent trading decisions for today.